Hey everyone, it's Emily here from Phoenix Gateway. I wanted to do a little video today because I had a beautiful experience this morning having sat in mindfulness/meditation, and I thought that if I shared it, it may resonate with the people that are watching and you may get something from it. So earlier this week, I found myself really triggered by an experience, and I found a whole range of emotions flying through me. And yesterday, I was still feeling really like I couldn't work out what was really going on, and to the extent of how much it was actually affecting me. So I went for a walk on my beautiful new land, and I asked my higher self to please, to tell me what is it that I'm experiencing. What is it that I am meant to do to work on at this point in time? And the words that I got were sorrow and pain. And I thought, okay, they're big words, really. Big aspects of emotion. And emotion is energy and flow. For me, sorrow and pain, there is more than one way in which I can read that, because it's not just something that has been occurring at this point in my life, like recent. It's beyond the recent. It's sort of like a lifetime of feeling, and it's actually not just lifetime, it's actually past life, because I have been through past life. Just as I lost my husband in this lifetime, it's been 18 years ago now. I've also lost in a past life. I've seen a repeat of that as well. So it's something that has been brought through. So I was feeling still quite perturbed by it this morning. I went and had a bath before I had my client, and I sat in the bath and I thought, okay, I need to ask my higher self. I actually need to ask my future self, what is it that I need to know? What is it, how is it that I can help myself to heal this aspect of me? Because healer, heal thyself. Certain circumstances within our lives appear, cross our paths for a reason. And these reasons are to help us grow, okay? And the way with the human experience, the way we seem to learn is through trauma and crises. That is the way that we get to awaken. I mean, look at what the hell's happening in our world now, and what has been happening on such a grand scale for 2 years, but actually has been happening for hundreds of years on deeper levels. And for example, things to do with children, for example, and what they call the deep state. Anyway, it's not what I really want to get into at this point. But when I sat with my higher self, my future self, I asked, how do I deal with these aspects of pain and sorrow? And the answer that I was given was through divine will. And I thought, okay, divine will. And what I took from that was, we all have a sense of free will. It is divine because our soul is pure, and it is divine. It is divine will. We have choice. We are sovereign beings, and we make the choices of what we want to do and how we want to heal thyself. Okay? So from there, then what they started to show me was myself. I don't know if it's actually called the Buddha pose, but I see myself in this Buddha pose, in this, or like how you see the Buddha, the monk, sitting cross-legged and, in a total state of just really. And I could see myself placed on my land further down, halfway down my land. And what I was witnessing were like in my Raven Magik card, where you see the black feathers on either side of the card and parts of the feathers flying off, what I was seeing was this coming out of my body, but in these beautiful, soft, pink feathers. And what it was showing me was this release that I was having from my body, but releasing with love. Okay, releasing with forgiveness. And I could actually see certain experiences in my mind as I was doing this. And I was forgiving not only myself, but that other person, that it was to do with. And I was told at that point that, actually, no, before I get to that, before that, what I was seeing, or what they were showing me after that, was how the primordial waters, and all I could hear was the word Nun, as in N-U-N. And the Nun are the primordial waters, okay? And I was told really clearly to work with blue lotus. Now, when we think about the blue lotus comes from the mud. It bursts from the mud, it comes from the darkness, and it's about strength and agility, and its foundations to actually grow through that darkness, through that mud, bringing itself through the water into the light. And then we have breath. And from Nun, we have Atum. Atum is the self-creator, okay? He brings himself through self-will. He brings himself to creation, to create life. And this is what I was seeing in my head, or what they were showing me. This was what it is all about. And when we think about it, it is all about birth, death, and rebirth as well. Okay? Whenever we come into life, we always come from water. You think about us in a womb when we are born, whether it's us or an animal, okay? Or even any animal or reptile that's born from an egg, there's always a sac with water. We have the liquor within that sac, and they are the primordial waters in which we are here and we are born through. So I actually took blue lotus when I got out of the bath, but then what they showed me was I had to work with charoite. Well, I call it charoite or charoite. Okay, it is this beautiful purple stone that you see here. And I was quite intrigued, why is it that I had to work with charoite? And it is because it's all about working here at our heart center and working with those higher frequencies and the higher chakras as well. It's about turning the negative into a positive. Okay, it is about seeing our self-worth and that aspect of self-love and self-forgiveness. Okay, and really, really, really beautiful. And I was doing a little bit more reading because I haven't worked with charoite for so long. And one of the other things it was actually talking about is actually how it can help with liver. And I thought that was interesting because the other thing that came up for me this week has been the element of anger. It's been an element of anger and sadness or sorrow. And then what my higher self started telling me was, in actual fact, the way I hold my sadness, my sorrow and my pain is through my weight. And I've actually gained quite a lot of weight in the last 18 months. And what they told me was what my higher self has told me is the need to actually go on a cleanse, okay? The need to go on it. And I got specifically a 10-day cleanse. And when I got the cleanse, it's not just about juicing or anything like that. It's about clean eating. It's about, and I could hear, the need for the two other things that actually came at that point was to work, to use bentonite, which is that clay that helps cleanse the gut. and the intestines, and also working with and ingesting chlorophyll. And I really actually thought a little bit about what that 10 days was, because I've just found myself going, when we listen to, people speak, we hear about the 10 days of darkness. And what's really, really interesting is the Tomsk, the system that reports the Schumann resonance has been blank, has gone into darkness, and has been so since the 6th of this month. Today is the 16th, and it will be really, really interesting to see if it comes back online tomorrow. Because the way I started seeing it was, they're talking the 10 days of darkness. I'm talking this 10 days of, needing to go on a cleanse. It's really about a reset. So this 10 days of darkness that we may be experiencing at this point, if this is what the Tomsk is all about, it's all about a reset, okay? Everything is resetting, and just as that resets on an individual level, it's about resetting, and I'm resetting from the inside out. And this is really what cleanses are about. And for me, this is how I can truly help myself to release and let go of that sorrow, that sadness, that pain that I have held onto. And what it's done is it's presented itself on a physical aspect where I'm carrying that weight, physically carrying that weight of these emotions. I've just got my notes next to me just in case. Now, I pretty much have said everything I need to say at this point in time. Just understand, each and every one of us is going through some really big shifts right now. And the inner work that needs to be done is massive. And it's always going to be like, we're here to learn, we're here to grow, we're here to understand. And sometimes you've just got to, and I'm pretty sure my reading this week also was about taking that time out for yourselves, because it's about feeling that anger, something coming to the surface. What is it that's bringing, what's that anger? Why has that anger come to the surface for you? Why, are you feeling certain emotions? How is it that you can take those emotions and you can heal those aspects of you? And understand that every time that we do this, we're, and going through that healing aspect, we're changing our frequency, and we're changing our frequencies to match that of the higher consciousness of where we're meant to be. And, right now we're really in a fourth density state of consciousness, heading into the fifth density consciousness. It's not to say our world is just going to change and we're going to be split into two different worlds. It's absolutely nothing about that. Okay, we're still here on this world, but we're working within this different frequency. Okay, we're working more with the light, and to find this light, we have to heal ourselves. Okay, so healer, heal thyself. Nurture yourself. If you ever need to reach out, I personally am available on email, emily@phoenixgateway.com.au. Work with certain products. Work with crystals, write, take your bath, allow yourself, and magnesium is a huge one for me, magnesium bicarb, I've said this many times, and I also use doTERRA oils, depending on how I feel, to what I put in the bath. And, if you ever need any advice or would like to know a little bit more about the lab, Liquid Alchemy and Bottle, you can go onto my website, www.phoenixgateway.com.au. You can have a little look at what is on there. And if you go onto the homepage, you will also be able to download a PDF on how to work with the different lab products as well. So have a beautiful weekend wherever you are. I do hope this is helpful for whoever gets to watch this, and I look forward to speaking with you beginning of next week for the weekly read. Okay, bye for now.